New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. Three women who were seen in a video allegedly attacking a hostess at the famed New York City restaurant Carmine's were arraigned in Manhattan on Tuesday. Shelley Rachel Lewis, age 49, Keita Rankin, age 44, and her niece, Tony Keisha Rankins, age 21, appeared in Manhattan criminal court to each face 2 counts of third-degree assault, attempted assault, and harassment. 3 were accused of attacking an Asian hostess at Carmine's on the Upper West Side on September 16th in a dispute over medical verification requirements at the restaurant. The women claimed that they were racially profiled and called a racial slur by the hostess, allegations which the restaurant has categorically denied. The 3 face up to a year in prison, and they were released on their own recognizance Tuesday after a brief arraignment hearing in Manhattan and are due back in court on November 18th. Carmine's last month released surveillance video footage of what it claims an unprovoked attack looked like on the hostess. The 3 women are seen entering the restaurant as part of a larger party. The women are escorted inside the restaurant after showing their proof of medical verification, while 3 men in their party who do not have proof and show up shortly after remain outside. The unnamed 24-year-old hostess passes the group, with the 4 women at the back of the group suddenly stopping and turning in her direction. The 3 women then rushed outside and appeared to attack the hostess from behind. Restaurant staff can be seen jumping in to defend their co-worker, who was left with bruises and scratches. In the immediate aftermath, police charged the 3 women with assault. There is no audio in the footage, so it is unclear if there was an exchange of words between the diners and the hostess. All 3 women from the Houston area state that they were provoked by the server who used a racial slur towards them. The restaurant still denies that the server used that word, with a spokesperson from its PR firm Trident DMG describing the incident as an entirely unprovoked brutal attack on our host. Justin Moore, a lawyer for the 3 women, alleged that the hostess used a racial slur and was rude to the women. He also stated that they accused the women of producing fake verification cards. The hostess began spouting out derogatory comments and speaking with 2 other women. They then claimed that the N-word was being spewed out. They also heard the hostess say, quote, "Yeah, you guys can leave my restaurant," or something very aggressive like that. When Dr. Rankins hears that, she turns around and addresses the hostess. She tells her, quote, "This isn't your restaurant. You're just a staff member here. Please address us with respect." Moore's allegations were rejected by Carolyn Richmond, an attorney for the restaurant. Quote, "Nothing about this incident suggests that race was an issue." Quote, "The pandemic has added a key responsibility to the host position, ensuring that safety and health of all employees and guests by checking for proof for medical verification in compliance with New York City law. The idea that anyone will become violent as an employee performs this necessary function is anathema to New York, the hospitality industry, and New Yorkers in general. As all of the women showed proof of their medical identification, they were all permitted to enter and were in fact seated inside." Moore also stated that this hostess clearly has some anger management issues, and unfortunately, her aggression and her violence led to something the 3 black women were being punished for. The lawyer for the restaurant later responded, quote, "Any claims that they were racially profiled is a complete fabrication, disingenuous, and outright irresponsible." Moore came back and stated that the hostess refused service to these women and got hostile with them. The injuries that she received were incurred by her being physically restrained by other staff at Carmine's after she was called out for racial discrimination, which she took offense to. He also stated that the incident amounted to mutual combat. The staff, who asked to remain anonymous, added that employees were told by upper management that the 3 customers from Texas were refused from dining after the restaurant because they presented fake verification cards. Carmine's refused to comment or provide a statement, but it released new footage of what it claims was an unprovoked attack. All right, I'm just going to give an unpopular opinion at this moment in time. Moving past everything that they've tried to list, like, oh, there were some slurs that were listed and and different things like that. Okay, that's cool, that's great. All of this could have been circumvented if people would have stayed home and cooked. All of this would have been circumvented if people would actually, try to open up their own restaurants, get together with their own communities and their own people, and work together and band together and actually do something for themselves instead of going to other people's establishments, depending on who they hire, depending on the management and the business to uphold a certain type of hospitality, in order to uphold a certain type of respect that should be given to patrons, no matter what their color or their ethnicity is. At the end of the day, when it comes down to circumstances like this, when it deals with America, black people, in a sense, it is on us. Why do I say that? Because we have all of the possibilities to come together as a family, as a community, as a block, right? In order to create for ourselves so that we don't have to go through this literally. Just think about that. Do you really think that the three black women who went through this incident at Carmine's in New York, do you think that this would have happened if they would have went to a black restaurant that was owned by their family or their friends or somebody locally in the neighborhood? Do you think that they would have just been able to go in and dine and eat and then come back out and, possibly, go see a movie or something like that, instead of having to deal with the potentiality of jail time and legal fees, and also having a record on top of having your name, posted all over social media? Think about that, because I know I'm going to hear a lot of people say like, "Oh man, B1 first. We got to sit up there and stay on code. They more than likely sat up there and said something to the sisters and all. That's great. That's cool. You want to sit up there and you want to defend them and whatnot. No problem. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. You are completely free to do that. I'm taking a whole other opinion of trying to rectify the situation so that it doesn't keep happening, because I'm tired of having to continuously keep reporting and keep putting out these stories where it deals with black people dealing with some type of form of discrimination and racism. You wouldn't have to deal with this if we would literally create our own. You know how simple that is. But like I said before, black people always want to talk, but yet we don't want to come together and actually create something to alleviate ourselves from a lot of the stress and the difficulties that we suffer in the society that we know are built specifically in order to hinder us in a multitude of different ways. But yet, what do? We sit up here, we cry, we start protesting, because they did have a BLM, protest directly out there. That's great. All of the shouting, all of the arguing, all the cussing, it's not going to do nothing. Why? Because what are you actually doing to alleviate the situation so that people in the community don't have to deal with this? BLM has a lot of money, but yet I don't see them building up restaurants. I don't see them buying up blocks, buying up communities. I don't see them doing a whole bunch of stuff. They got millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. But yet all they're sitting up there doing like, oh yeah, we're about to sit up there and protest. We're about to sit up there and say that Carmine's is this and Carmine is... Come on, man. We got a lot of things that we need to do right now. And doing a protest or whatever about this is not doing nothing. It's not doing nothing. All it is getting attention further to that organization, so that other people who have the quote unquote bleeding hearts are going to continue to give money to the organization. And then the same thing is going to be a rinse, wash, and repeat. Notice how nothing in there deviates and states that, okay, yeah, we're going to get this money, then we're going to put it towards the community. We're going to get this money, we're going to open up schools for us. We're going to get this money, and then we're going to, create jobs and different things that we need in black communities in order to help and benefit us. We're going to sit up there and start up drug programs in order to alleviate, drug issues from a lot of our people that are being affected, so that we can get them on a better path. We're going to open up trade schools in the black community in order to alleviate a lot of the stressors of just having a high school diploma and that not even being enough to, in a sense, work at McDonald's. So let's open up trade schools in the black community in order to get jobs into the hands of these young kids, so that they don't have to suffer later on, so that they don't have to deal with government assistance later on, so that they don't have to sit up there and be seen as some type of leech, right, in the future. And also to alleviate the fact that if we give these young men the education, the knowledge, and the jobs right now, guess what? They're not going to be out here playing in the streets. They're not going to be out here doing a whole bunch of criminal activity. They're not going to be in and out of jail. But like I said before, and I keep telling people, it's great that you have a group out there called Black Lives Matter. For the name's sake, I 100% agree. But going with the whole organization as a whole, I don't. So this is why I sat up there and stated what I stated before when I said, like, yeah, they did have a protest out there for Black Lives Matter because of what happened. But at the end of the day, who's actually benefiting from this? Are the 3 women who are going to be facing potential jail time and legal fees and everything else because of their own actions, are they going to benefit from this? Or is it the Black Lives Matter organization that's going to benefit from this more by having their name directly out there on the cameras, by having their people out there yelling, by having people around the world basically donating to them? Who's going to benefit more? I don't see anything positive there for those black women. I don't. Because like I said before, at the end of the day, all of this could be alleviated if black people would just come together and we would just build for our own. We would support our own. But 9 times out of 10, that's not going to happen because black people always got excuses as to why it is they can't support their own, but yet they never come up with excuses on why they can't support everybody else. But I digress. But anyways, let me know what y'all think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.